We have a lot to tell you about from the trial in Putnam County about two young boys. It's a trial that's being very closely watched because we're involving two brothers and a very, very brutal alleged murder. And we're going to tell you a little bit about what's going on in that scene. Well, a man named Wilson is accused of killing his girlfriend's nephews in August of 2020. Wilson is accused of beating the boys in the head with a hammer and then slitting their throats. Wilson, at the time of the murder, was dating the boys' aunt.
That's right. And the aunt, Wilson, and their one-year-old daughter all lived at the Baker's home. Sarah Baker says the night before the murders, everything seemed fine. But that following morning, she woke up. She went to look for her oldest son, Tayten. She, along with her 4-year-old son, headed down the hall to where Tayten was sleeping and saw blood. And when she pulled back the blanket, she saw her son dead, with his throat slit to the bone. She says she could tell by the gash in his throat that he was dead. With her 4-year-old in tow, she now looks for her 12-year-old son, Robert.
And I ran over to Robert and I'm screaming at him to call 911, and I rip his blanket off, and all I can remember is his head flipped forward and then it just banged back up against the wall. And he was the same thing, soaked in blood, and I didn't get a good look at like what his injuries look like. But I did as far as Tayten's.
Very emotional day in court today in Putnam County. The prosecution saying Wilson has admitted to the crime but has changed his story on a number of occasions.
The defense is claiming the reason he did this is because the boys were hurting his daughter. We'll break down the other things the jury heard today later at 6.